Good evening to you all, and welcome to the analysis. Today is 8th of December 2024. So we're going to start first with the dollar index, like I usually do. We'll look at, we're still at the beginning of the new month, so just having a glance of this more previous monthly candle close. So we said we saw price took out its highs, but did not close above it. So that was more like a rejection into the 3 weeks fair value gap that we saw somewhere around this area. All right, so let's go back to, let's even look at the 3 weeks fair value gap. I think it will have some information for us. So here we go. This is where we had the 3 weeks fair value gap as a key level. Price traded into it, rejected back down, and even closed below this. So this means price was just purging liquidity above these highs. And as of the moment, we can expect at least price to drop down to this area now. A quick tip for you: when price trades into a key level, the first thing to expect is a retracement profile. All right. When price trades into a key level, the first thing to expect is a retracement profile. This retracement profile can end up to be a reversal profile, but the highest thing to expect is a retracement profile. So which means the moment price trades into a key level, one thing it has to do is give you a retracement. This retracement must happen, and it can now either continue as a reversal, a complete reversal, or after the retracement, then a continuation to invalidate that key level. So what I mean is, now what you have to do as a trader here now is to be able to identify when that correction, or where that correction, or how long the correction is going to take, or I mean the peak range of the correction. I'm explaining this based on this fair value gap that we have here, right? Because this is actually one of the areas that we can expect this rejection to come back to this fair value gap before maybe we want to go up or want to continue down. That at that point to be able to determine. But as of now, the moment price hits a key level, what we expect is the retracement profile, and that's what we are getting on the dollar index. So we'll go down to the weekly time frame. Okay. On the weekly time frame, we still have this fair value gap that is still sitting here on the weekly time frame. And on our previous week, I mentioned that the close of this candle actually signifies some. It gives us a clue or give us an idea of what to expect, or it makes us to understand that we are likely going to have at least a good weekly retracement, right? This is a lot of bearish momentum, and just in that case, we have this fair value gap right here. And then we also see that price closed within this fair value gap. So this week, though we closed like a contraction, we can expect price to take previous weekly low, trading down into this fair value gap that we have here. So at this point, I will want to see price from this weekly, from this point, we trade down into this fair value gap. Also, price might want to take out this low, as it is a low which has to do with another 3 weeks fair value gap as well. All right. But then as a correction, this is where we're likely going to have the correction. This is our target for the correction, more like highest probability. So let's just look at the daily. Now, on the daily time frame as well, last week, we talked about price selling from this point after we had Monday pushed into this fair value gap and we got a rejection from. So I sent on the group as well that because of this close below this fair value gap, it's showing us a very nice rejection, and price had to then form a CRT on Tuesday. Wednesday took out a CRT high and closed lower. This was just high confirmations that we're going to be continuing the drop to the downside, and we had price fill this fair value gap and then started a correction. But now at this point, this week actually closed like a contraction, right? But then price did not actually close below this low, which is what is making us to feel like maybe we can see how price maybe shoot up a little before we actually drop for this week. All right, and it's still possible because when you look at the weekly time frame, like I said, we close a contraction. This literally means that more within this week, this candle might turn out to be a CRT candle. It's very possible. All right, this candle can turn out to be a CRT, which means maybe Monday, Tuesday can trade and then take out the high of the candle. All right, let's go back to the daily. Because we close the contraction, that's very important. And now also, if you look here, notice that we have this volume gap. Now, I don't want to talk about this other block because this we already had a price traded back to it. So we have this small volume gap here. So we can actually trade back up to this fair value gap. All right. Now, if that is happening, also remember that this is going to be like a CRT, right? This will be a CRT within a CRT. So I feel like we're going to have some price trade into this fair value gap, and then we trade back down to this area. Okay, this high can also be like an inducement high into that volume gap, which is also a CRT high. Now, remember, price did not take out this high. So the fact that we took out the high, though price closed below it at this point, it was merely the end of this week. So that's just what I'm expecting. Maybe price will come back up to take this relative equalize into that volume gap before we drop lower. But then, what if that doesn't happen? How would we expect price delivery? Now, if price either Monday or Tuesday trades and close below this candle, then we're likely going to have a weekly bearish expansion straight down. All right, maybe Tuesday just takes out this candle's high, which becomes our CRT. Like this one is not a very good CRT again, because what happens is that price did close below it. Okay, we had price closing below it, so which means we can focus more of our attention on this one here. Now, why I was just looking at this candle, why I mentioned it is because of this relative equal highs here and the fact that price did not take the high. Now we have this candle here, so which we can expect that Monday or Tuesday by then take this high and then push back lower to trade into the fair value gap. So let's see how Monday trades, either taking out this high and then it gives us some reversals on the 4-hour, we can then look to sell down to this point. But if that doesn't, we can actually have price moving up to take this relative equal highs here into this volume gap, and then from there we can have price pull back down. All right, so this is what we're expecting on the dollar. Two scenarios. The first one is we expect price to take out the first case, we expect to see this and then down, or we see this from here, price goes to the volume gap and then it comes back down. So these are the two things that we want to see. I don't really want to just see price open and then just start trading lower into that gap. Maybe if it does, then we can be having a weekly reversal, maybe on Wednesday, Thursday or Friday. All right. So that's what we're expecting on the dollar index. So let's quickly look at Euro USD and GU. Let's go to the daily time frame. Somebody's writing on my screen. Okay, so also Euro USD, we're still bullish on Euro USD. We haven't really expanded that much, but then you can also see that price has closed below this candle. Now, another tip for you, another block is simply a candle that fills or purchases liquidity, and when the candle is engulfed, the candle becomes a good order block. So this particular candle here actually fills liquidity, right? It mitigated this other block, and now the fact that price has closed above it also validates it to be an order block. So what do I mean by that? So we have a new order block that has been formed here now, and then from here we can expect this candle, to be a CRT, just like what we said on the dollar index. Maybe price opens, then the price opens, take out the low of the candle, then we go back up. Okay. Sometimes Monday can open and just start shooting higher. Never know, but I would love to see price take out Friday's low to validate this to be a CRT, and then we'll move up to that fair value gap that we have here. All right. Okay, so let's put GU to it. My record in this session. Okay. All right, so GBP USD, pretty much the same thing. What's okay? Something that I just see. Okay. All right, so GU is the same thing. We have this candle, fill the fair value gap, and price closed above it. That also validates that to be another block. And we have this hidden fair value gap right up here, which is aligning with this mitigation. So we can also expect pretty much the same thing. Okay, I expect the same thing. A rate of this candle's low into this other block, and from there we move higher. So that's Euro USD. Let's see which one is this. USD card. USD card. USD card. USD Canadian dollar. We are pushing higher, higher, higher. So cards, I think I've been talking about this for almost a year or more. This equal highs, because this is a monthly chart. We know that Canadian dollar is likely going to be coming up to this fair value gap here, taking out this relative equal high. So we just came out of this consolidation. We just came out to break out of this consolidation here, and I think this is the next target. So whatever is happening here, we expect more higher prices. Is this GBP GPY? Okay, GBP GPY. Let's look at it on the weekly time frame. Beautiful price action here on the weekly time frame on GBP GPY. We had this other block here. Price took out this candle's low into that other block. This became like an inducement for us to at this point we can expect higher prices from. Maybe even at least up to taking out this CRT high, this candle. All right, because now it is acting like a CRT as price took out the low into a key level. Looking at it on the daily time frame, we also have this fair value gap right up here. But then we are going to look at JPY index to confirm if price will be willing to come back up to this level, because it is not every CRT that works, or it's not every, if there's a CRT that is against the overall direction of the market, it will not really work, right? So let's see. I think there's also some kind of trend line confirmations here. Right, anyway. So we have price tapped into this key level. All right, we had price tapped into this key level. Now, let's just quickly look at something here. Price took out this swing low, okay, into a weekly order block. So what that means is if you have something like this, so now if you look at this point, you'll notice that price are not yet the key level. So you wait for the next day to open. Let's actually see, and then we also have a potential 4-hour CRT here. All right, also have a 4-hour potential CRT with this high like this. The daily CRT is back up. Let's look at the daily CRT. So this is the daily CRT. So we move down to 15 minutes. Want to see price tap into that key level, and then we'll get an entry. Okay, so, and also just looking at this point here, this is just sound logic, guys. This is what is this? What are we having now like this? Let me see answer in the comment section. What is this, and what is this, and what is this? So let's see what is happening here. Now, people are always in a rush to buy and so on without having any framework behind their trade. So let's see what happens when price taps into our key level. All right. All right, good. So now we have tapped into the weekly order block and also taking out the daily CRT low. So first thing here, we want to see our model 1 entry confirmation. Good, beautiful. Now you notice something here. Price did not give us that confirmation yet. So you are not supposed to rush, right? Price has to close above this to validate this to be another block. So now our focus is not on this one, because at the moment this was the lowest down close candle, but now this is this candle. So you close above this candle, we are taking a buy immediately. Good. So we have closed above it, and as simple as that, this will be our buy entry. All right. You can, if you want to be more patient, waiting for price to come down to the other block, it's still good. But sometimes the market will not wait for you. The market will not wait for you. So we have our entry from these candles close. Immediately the next candle opens, we'll take our buy. We target the CLT high, which is about 4 to something risk to reward ratio. Remember, I said this is like an AMD as well. So so guys, that's it. That's as easy as that. So we are expecting higher prices on this guy. Let me just close this. I just wanted to give you guys some tips on that. So can I expect price to come back up to take out this high? But then let's look at GPY index. All right, so looking at GPY index, we looked at this last week as well. We have price leaving this fair value gap. So if we were to have price trade back down to this fair value gap, we might see that happen on the GBP GPY. But look at something here. This guy did not close below this candle. But what happened with GBP GPY? GBP GPY instead went and closed above it, but it was supposed to close below. So something fishy is happening. Either an SMT. All right, so we'll wait for more confirmations to see if price will want to come back down here or not. Let's quickly look at gold. All right, so gold has been on a consolidation. Last week closed a contraction. I think we can see that contraction here. So we did not take previous really low and so on. So this is now an inside bar. All right, this is now an inside bar. So and we have this, the low of this candle. So though we are still bullish on gold, we just have to be very careful to watch at how price is playing out. Can our price take out this high to continue high? Why I'm not so much bearish on gold is because of how this weekly candle closed. This is very important, right? It closed so heavily bullish, and this candle is our other block. So we could expect price to take out this high, but then maybe it will take out this low before we move up to that high. Also, looking at it on the daily time frame, price could still come back down to test this fair value gap here. But also, I didn't want that to happen because I was expecting this candle to be a CRT to continue higher, and it's still very possible because at this moment we also having another one here, and from here price can continue higher. All right, but then we are in a tight consolidation. This tight consolidation is giving us a weekly inside candle. So we just have to be patient, let price do its job at this area, give us the expansion before we start running after it. So Bitcoin is currently trading at 99,836. Bitcoin is currently trading at 99,696. So we have how many days? 1, 2, almost 3 days only within this candle. So at this point, anything we are trading here is it's not really high probability, right? Because it's like you're trading inside a range. You don't know if price is going to break out up or down and so on. Right now, we took out these highs, but came back right down to close somewhere below it. So that's one of the things that is making this price action here not very satisfying. All right. But then we have this fair value gap, and we have hit a very good sentimental area too on Bitcoin. So there's possibility that we can have price drop back down to this fair value gap. So looking at it on the daily, we had yesterday contraction, today price is barely not going up or down. We just have to be patient and then wait to see what is happening. But then we can see something here on the 4-hour time frame. Price closed below this candle that pushed out this liquidity. So that becomes another block. This actually means there's a possibility that we're going to have price drop from there to this fair value gap right here. All right. So we also started by taking out this liquidity. So there's a possibility we're going to take the liquidity right down to the origin of that trend line phantom. So basically that should be all. Let me see if there is any question. You guys have a question. I would any pair you want me to look for now for okay. Wait 4237. Please check our channel. Just search Gospel FX Trader Gospel FX Trader on YouTube. You're gonna see it. Okay. GPY, we've already done that. All right. I don't want this session to be too long so that it doesn't it doesn't get boring to those who are going to watch the recording version of it. So let's look at NASDAQ, I think. NASDAQ. Okay. All right. So NASDAQ pushing higher. We are having a correction as from 21,600 and something. Let's go to daily time frame. So daily, if you this fair value gap was still pushing higher. This was another beautiful CRT here on NASDAQ that took a while to form. It took a while to complete. All right, after price rate is low into this other block, then we had how many days before price took out that high? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how we could have gotten an entry after price rated that low. Going down to 4-hour time frame, going out to the 4-hour time frame, we also had this candle. So 4-hour was giving us a very CRT against that of the daily. So let's see what happened on the 50-minute. So this candle on the 4-hour time frame becomes our CRT, right? So which means if you see 4-hour time frame, we push this 4-hour CRT into this key level. So sell opportunities back down to, oh, that was too fast. So we took out these candles for our CRT into this fair value gap. I think an entry around this point would have been from this other block candle, right? So price came back to that candle. That would have been a very good sell from there, right? Targeting this low. Yeah, we'll target this low. Okay, and then as price came down to the fair value gap to the, okay. All right, so here we go. Price closed below this candle, all right? That was, the next candle was supposed to be an entry immediately. And then we put our stops below that low, and then we show that we target the CRT high, is this one. So this would have been your entry based on that daily movement. Then it took a while. The price took a couple of days before it actually reached that CRT high. See, moving up and down, up and down, up and down. A lot of consolidation. It took how many days to do that? And then boom. So price took out the CRT high. At this point, if you did not take an instant entry, you would have taken the entry as price came back down to the other block here. And then this would have been your second entry. This other block would have been your second entry. And this one would have been your third entry and so on. Anyway, that's we're still expecting higher prices on NASDAQ. So everything is bullish, just like everything is bullish, just like we are bullish as well on Bitcoin. So, but at this point, we can be targeting 22,000, 22,000, around 22,000. Yeah. So that's our next sentiment area for NASDAQ, 22,000. Okay. Is there any other question again you want me to answer first before? Is there any question you wanted me to answer? Is there any question you wanted me to answer? All right. That should be it for today.